Several BTC employees staging a sick-out today after news of impending cuts at the company. That story coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, an immigration officer hauled before the courts. We'll tell you all about it coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
And long lines at a major resort property today. Find out why. The Bahamas tonight. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
A large number of employees at the Bahamas Telecommunications Company are apparently out sick today. Good evening, everyone. I'm Charisma Robinson.
And I'm Clint Watson. The action comes just one day after a proposed cut in staff was revealed by the company. ZNS
News not only visited a few BTC outlets today, but also sat down with BCPOU President Bernard Evans, who confirmed that several employees were disgruntled yesterday upon hearing the news.
When ZNS News arrived at BTC's John F. Kennedy Drive and Propal Track substations early Thursday morning, we met dozens of company vehicles parked, but still no workers. Additionally, other parking spots at both locations were also scant. President of the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union, Bernard Evans, confirmed an alleged action taken by employees, but could not say how far-reaching the impact was on BTC services.
I took a drive myself when I saw that there has been some no-shows. But we're still trying to verify the impact, the full impact of it, to see whether or not if it's widespread or not. But as the hour and the minutes go on, we stand to realize that something is happening.
Evans believes that when employees learned during a meeting with union officials on Wednesday that close to 150 of them may reportedly be axed and given severance packages by the end of March, they became quite disgruntled. Evans admitted this is the third time BTC executives have allegedly sprung a termination exercise on their staff.
We believe it's a total disrespect to the union, who represent their welfare and their general interests. And so once we were able to communicate to them, those transactions between the union and management, then obviously they took offense to it, really.
But contrary to that, Evans claims there are still a few BTC employees who do not have confidence in the company's management and are considering taking the severance package in March if it becomes available. But he says they must be careful with the decision because the job market is currently saturated.
It was welcoming news for a few people about another opportunity to get out of the company, which is sad, you know, but there's not a whole lot of people. I just drove out west just now and I saw at least 2,000 or 3,000 young people standing up in line out there with their resumes in their hand trying to offer for a few jobs at Sandals. There aren't any jobs out there, so you have at least, 2,000 or 3,000 people scrounging around for less than 50 jobs. And so jobs are not readily available. And granted, you may get the VSEP, but really and truly, if you don't have any other income, it's not going to last you long.
ZNS News made several attempts to contact BTC CEO Leon Williams on the reported sick-out Wednesday, but those calls were not returned up to news time. We understand that Williams was reportedly locked away in meetings.
Meanwhile, Evans says the union has written to the Department of Labor for a strike vote, and depending on the outcome of that vote, Evans says the union will proceed with its next plan of action. LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
Thanks a lot, LaDon. And as a number of BTC employees sat out today, scores of job seekers camped out at a major hotel property in hopes of seeking a job. Carla Palmer tells us they gathered at Sandals Royal Bahamian for a job fair.
The line of hopefuls seeking employment at Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort extended for miles this Thursday. Still, that was no deterrent for those residents in queue, like Quinton Colebrook, who says he's been in line for 4 hours.
The struggle is real. I hope to get a nice job, a chef position or something, amongst all these other people who are looking for work and things. But at the end of the day, we can see what's going on.
Sandals is seeking to fill vacancies in almost every area of hotel employment. Some persons admit to having no hotel experience, but say in these challenging times, they are committed to being fast learners, as putting food on their table is the ultimate objective.
Everywhere you go, it's like a turn down and disappointment. So I'm hoping today that this is, that's something that God has blessed me with, and I've come here with a positive attitude that I would be I'm hired.
I don't want to always depend on my uncle and aunties and people around me. I want to be able to be independent as I always were.
Honestly, based on my resume and past experiences, I have high hopes, but if it don't really turn out, then I guess that's not what God have planned for me.
I'm Carla Palmer for ZNS Network News.
A man assigned to protect the country appearing in the magistrate's court today on a sex charge. Jimmy Swain tells us more.
On most days, appearing in the magistrate's court are persons who break the immigration laws of our country. But on Thursday, an immigration officer found himself in a magistrate court facing a serious charge. 53-year-old Norman Bastian appeared before Magistrate Andrew Forbes accused of rape. It's alleged that the officer had sexual intercourse with a 28-year-old Jamaican female without her consent on December 15, 2014. Magistrate Forbes informed Bastian before he was charged that he was not required to enter a plea to the charge. Bastian was denied bail and remanded to prison. He's expected back in court on February 23rd at noon for a fixture date. It's expected that the matter will proceed by way of a voluntary bill of indictment, which means that a preliminary inquiry will be bypassed and the matter will be fast-tracked to the Supreme Court for trial. Bastian was represented by attorney Roberta Reckley. Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Still from the court, 3 suspects from Grand Bahama made their first appearance in a magistrate's court today in connection with a more than $600,000 drug seizure on that island. The accused 35-year-old Anson Hannah in the black hoodie from West End, 37-year-old Ricardo Carey, you see there in the plaid shirt, and 30-year-old Crystal Culmer in the red jacket, both of North Bahamia, faced several gun and drug-related charges. They appeared before Magistrate Andrew Forbes. Hannah and Culmer were each charged 2 counts of possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply. It's alleged that the pair had 2 ounces of Indian hemp and 48 pounds of cocaine with a street value of $620,000. The cocaine was found hidden in the lining of 15 black travel bags that included backpacks and camera bags by drug enforcement officers executing a search on a home in Lucaya, Grand Bahama on Monday. The 3 defendants were charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. It's alleged that the defendants possessed a 9mm Glock and ammunition. The accused denied all charges. They were denied bail and remanded to prison.
Coming up, the IDB and government partnering in a master development plan for the country.
And in sports, lots of action at the 32nd Hugh Campbell Basketball Classic. We have all the highlights.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Shell Quality Fuels.